Hello there, courtesy of Polygon, we got some new info about the upcoming comic book series Jedi Knights, which is being written by Marc Guggenheim, who you'll know from having worked on TV shows like Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow, the Green Lantern movie, and comic books like X-Men Gold, which is a bit of a divisive run. I think it got better over time personally, but it started out a little bit rocky. The art is being done by, and I apologise in advance for the butchery of this pronunciation, Madibek Musabekov. I'm sorry. Who has also worked on Star Wars and X-Men comics before as well. I really enjoy his art. I am not an art critic. I can't really look at a piece of comic book art and tell you what I like about it, really. I can just tell you about whether or not I like it. And when I look at his, I like it. I'm sorry, that's the best I can do with that. So Jedi Knights is going to be taking place prior to the Phantom Menace, and will focus on, funnily enough, the Jedi. Guggenheim said this to Polygon: "I love the idea that the Jedi are the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, but there are surprisingly few examples of that out there, mainly because the Jedi get sucked into the Clone Wars. I'm as much a fan of the Clone Wars as the next guy, but I really craved seeing the Jedi doing their thing on a non-war footing. That's the great appeal of this new Jedi Knight series. We really get a chance to see what the Jedi did before the Clone Wars and their eventual fall." Now, each issue is going to focus on different pairings of Jedi on missions across the galaxy, but with an overarching threat that will connect them all together. Now, I love the idea of this series basically, because I also want to see more of the Jedi outside of a war. I want to see more of them in a peacetime setting. I think this is one of the reasons I loved The Living Force so much that came out last year, because it was also set just before The Phantom Menace, and I really liked seeing the Jedi Council and how they approached the situation when they weren't in wartime. It was a really great book, you should check it out if you haven't. I also love the idea of each issue focusing on a different duo of Jedi, and as you can see in the main cover, that we are going to be getting more Dooku of when he was a Jedi, which is always a good thing in my opinion. His story is so fascinating to me, his character is so fascinating to me, especially his Tale of the Jedi episodes. The audio drama Dooku Lost is fantastic. Very much looking forward to more Dooku. He goes on to say, "We're focusing less on the issues in the Republic and more on the Jedi being Jedi. Specifically, what does being guardians of peace and justice truly entail?" Polygon also got to show off 5 unlettered pages from the upcoming series, and this is where I think the art really shines through. I think it looks fantastic. While I'm not a big fan of lightsaber wielding Yoda, I know others are. You guys can have that. We've got it here. It's just, it never worked for me. I'm sorry. We've also got the most talked about character from the Acolyte, Ki-Adi-Mundi, in there. Got a bunch of other Jedi that we know, a few that I don't know. I don't know if these are already named characters or established characters. I feel like they might be new. If anyone knows who they are, please feel free to shout them out. But honestly, all the art just looks great for me. In that one page that has this dude coming down after Qui-Gon with his little daggers, they do talk about that a little bit. This is a new character called Corlis Rath, who is targeting Qui-Gon Jinn. Guggenheim said that the Jedi are essentially samurai, so I thought it would be interesting if we had an antagonist who was the Star Wars equivalent of a ninja. I really like that. I always love a Star Wars villain with a mask. It's essentially a staple at this point, let's face it. But yeah, that is Star Wars Jedi Knights, which is a new series coming this year. Issue number 1 will be out on March 5th. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's going to be an ongoing series. Guggenheim said that they've got the first 10 issues or so plotted out so far, and I like the idea of each issue being a different duo of Jedi with the overarching plot to connect them all together. Sounds great. Sign me up. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, make sure you follow me here and on TikTok for more Star Wars stuff. I love talking about Star Wars. It's my favorite thing to do in the world. So yeah, I will see you next time, and may the Force be with you. Always.